This is Nick.
This is Jack.
Welcome back. It is Monday, July 21st, and today's pod is the best one yet. This is a T-Boy.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
Yetis, the after party is set. Mark your Google Maps for Sheffield's Beer and Wine Garden.
Nick and I are headed to Sheffield's after the live show in Chicago this week to hang with any Yeti or bestie who wants to.
And we expect to be up way past our bedtimes. We're putting the PM in podcasting, baby.
True, there's still some tickets left if you want to see us in Chi-Town.
Snag your tickets, but in the meantime, Jack and I whipped up, honestly, this is the best pod we've ever done. Jack, 3 stories for today's T-Boy. What do we got on the show?
For our first story, CBS shockingly canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, generating tons of hot takes.
But Jack and I have a surprise reason for the fall of the late night TV business. Podcasts.
For our second story, Happy Crypto Week. Last week, we went from 0 federal laws governing crypto to 3.
But as Caesar once told us, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither were regulations.
And our third and final story. There is a secretive app that gives you free stuff, but only if you're hot.
Okay, did you get the app? Did we download the app? Do we have this app, Jack?
I haven't tried. I'm nervous that I'll get rejected.
It's called the Neon Coat, and it's powering the whole influencer industry.
But Yetis, before we hit that wonderful mix of stories.
Fantastic mix of stories to kick off the week. Love the mix, Jack.
It's Monday morning.
Yep.
Flying to Chicago this week. I need a coffee to start the week.
Okay, but Jack, not a cup of coffee, not a glass of coffee. What about a bucket of coffee?
Get this, Yetis. The latest trend in coffee is to serve it in 34-ounce plastic buckets.
Equipped with straws, these giant buckets are being used for morning iced coffees. You gotta lift with your legs, not your back.
These single-serve coffee buckets are so big, they come with handles.
Definitely doesn't fit in a cup holder. They're so big, you need 3 hands.
It looks like the bucket of balls your Little League baseball team used to carry the balls in, you know?
Hey, Darlene, what's going on over there?
Folgers had it all wrong. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your bucket.
All right, let's jump in T-Boy style here, Jack. What exactly is going on according to the New York Times?
Local coffee shops nationwide have started serving coffee in buckets to differentiate.
Because Dunkin' has an XL, Starbucks has a Venti.
But only a local small business will do what Starbucks corporate never would.
A 6-inch tall, 34-ounce plastic bucket with handles, it just hits different.
And if you walk into the office with that thing,
oh yeah,
you just got the boss's attention.
And you just got a promotion because there are probably 2 straws in that bucket.
That's a statement piece. All I know is the morning after our Chicago show, I'm gonna need a bigger bucket.
Make it a pail. Make it a pail. Yetis, let's hit our 3 stories.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, CBS shockingly canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Maybe because of business, maybe because of politics.
But we have a third reason for the fall of late night. Podcasts.
But Yetis, in order for us to tell this story, how about we talk about the big winner in media last week? Jack, who was it?
Nielsen reported that Bluey, the kids' TV show about a family of Australian dogs, was the most streamed show in the first half of 2025.
We repeat, Americans watched twice as much Bluey as we watched White Lotus, Friends, or Squid Game.
Family content is the profit puppy of streaming.
Yes, it is, Jack.
But Nick, what's the opposite of Bluey?
Well, Jack, while daytime kids' TV is thriving, late-night adult TV is dying.
Including, officially, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Because on Friday, CBS formally announced it is canceling The Late Show for, as they put it, purely financial reasons.
The Late Show. It's an institution. For 32 years, it's been on TV. David Letterman for the first 22 years, Stephen Colbert for the last 10.
CBS even bought the Ed Sullivan Theater in Manhattan to be the home of The Late Show.
It's the flagship show of CBS, which is a flagship channel of American television.
There is nothing quite like the live laugh track at 11 p.m. of a bunch of adults screaming because a band goes, ba-dum-ps.
But now that legendary show has been canceled, and we gotta say, the timing is quite awkward.
And the timing is awkward because Paramount, which owns CBS, which owns The Late Show, is in a high-stakes legal standoff with the president.
Here's the bigger context, Yetis. Paramount, which owns CBS, desperately wants to sell itself to Skydance.
Yeah, they announced the deal like a year ago, but it is still pending approval by President Trump's FCC.
At the same time, Donald Trump sued another CBS show, 60 Minutes, for the way they handled the Kamala Harris interview.
Now, besties, legal experts have called the lawsuit frivolous, but Paramount still needs approval of Trump's Federal Communications Commission in order to sell itself.
So earlier this month, Paramount paid Donald Trump $16 million to settle the lawsuit, probably thinking it's the only way Trump will approve their merger.
Okay, but then things got juicy and they got spicy, didn't they, Jack?
On the next episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Colbert satirically described that settlement payment as a big, fat bribe.
And here's why we said the timing is funny.
Just 4 days after Colbert called the settlement a bribe, CBS announced they're canceling his show after the season ends in May.
Now, maybe CBS is canceling this because cable TV is a dying business with viewership declining each and every year.
Or maybe CBS is firing the big Trump critic on their staff to sweeten the deal and try to finally get that merger approval.
We can only speculate. It's probably both. But Jack and I think there's also a third reason here for the cancellation of late night TV.
Yes, we do.
So Jack, what's the takeaway for all our buddies watching late night?
Late night hosts are becoming podcast hosts.
Yeah, Eddie's, what's the formula for late night TV? Well, we think it's 3 parts: monologue, couch interview, and a band for the studio audience.
The monologue and the couch interview 100% can be podcasts.
I mean, Jack, you could just listen with headphones on or watch on YouTube, social media. Boom, you get those 2 variables.
The band can't really be a podcast, but that was an awesome treat for the in-studio audience that probably just doesn't make financial sense anymore.
And that's why Conan O'Brien, Jon Stewart, and Trevor Noah, all former late night hosts, have all now launched podcasts.
The economics of late night TV just don't work anymore. Cable TV is dying. And look at the costs to put on one of those late night shows.
Okay, this is wild. Stephen Colbert's late night show requires 200 people to produce.
It's an amazing show.
Amazing show.
But it just doesn't work with today's media environment.
On the other hand, a podcast with the same content, that would just need 10 people to produce.
We expect Colbert to create a podcast that's 80% the same as late night with 80% fewer people.
And that is why late night hosts are becoming podcast hosts. For our second story, there's a stealthy app that's only for hot people. If they let you download it, you get anything for free.
It's called Neon Coat.
Neon Coat.
And for 8 years, it has secretly powered the influencer economy.
And I think Jack is secretly on it. More on that in a bit. I got a suspicion here. But besties, over the weekend, you tried to get that 8 p.m. reservation prime time at Dorsia, but you failed.
You tried to get a top spot at that Pilates studio, and you failed.
You spent 3 hours scrolling Resi, OpenTable, ClassPass, and all you did was get stuck with a 5 p.m. dinner and a guest pass to Planet Fitness.
Trick question. Planet Fitness will let anyone in for free.
You see, besties, us regular-looking people, we compete for limited spots in daily life for services and experiences.
But there's a wonderful place in the digital world. It's a stealthy app where everything is free.
But here's the catch. It's only for models, influencers, and hot people.
The Wall Street Journal last week exposed Neon Coat.
Yes.
A platform that connects restaurants, gyms, and salons with people who have big followings on social.
The business model? Restaurants let influencers dine for free on one condition, and what is it, Jack?
You post about it.
You're not paying because you're posting. And again, I think you have this on your phone?
I'm so flattered I think you're just joking, though.
I've got evidence, and I'll get to it in a bit, Jack. But yeah, let's sprinkle on some context here to this wild concept. The most popular apps out there are platform apps.
Airbnb, Uber, Instagram. What they do is connect one side with another side in a little marketplace in the middle.
Well, Neon Coat also connects 2 sides, but Neon Coat doesn't want to be a popular app like all those others.
This platform is 8 years old, but you've never heard of it, and it's nowhere on the rankings.
It was founded in 2017 by a Slovenian model who wanted it to be easier for her to access perks.
And today, there are 1,500 restaurants, clubs, and gyms that are users. And then on the other side, there's 12,500 models and influencers who are users.
And now we know you're wondering who qualifies. Well, we should point out, hotness is not actually a technical qualification.
The technical qualification is you must have 5,000 followers on either Instagram or TikTok.
And here's the key to the business model. Influencers don't pay to use the app. The app is free for them.
But businesses must pay $1,000 a month to be on the platform.
Plus, Jack, those businesses have to cover the cost for the influencer to use their actual service.
So a restaurant using the Neon Coat app might dole out 40 free meals a month to influencers using Neon Coat.
Okay, so let's follow the numbers here.
Let's say it's $150 per free meal that they give out.
Nice.
That's $6,500 a month in free meals to influencers.
And in exchange, that restaurant got exposed to at least 200,000 followers.
Not only do those tagged posts create buzz for the restaurant, they're definitely going to convert at least some customers.
Now get this, the Wall Street Journal tracked one influencer who uses this Neon Coat app. And what did they discover, Jack?
She got a free berries workout in the morning, a free Mangia smoothie after that, a free mani-pedi in the early afternoon, and then dinner with buddies, all covered by businesses on the app.
That Tribeca restaurant footed the whole bill for the meal. Hundreds of dollars of value in one day.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Says the guy who every time you're in San Francisco, you want to get that Aperol Spritz at Catonia, Jack. Now I know why you want to always get that.
I wish they were free, Nick. I wish they were free.
If you think about it, Yetis, it's wild. Influencers have created 350,000 pieces of content from this app, and you've probably seen those Aperol Spritzes in your Instagram feed.
Do they have to be declared as promoted posts? Technically, but the FTC does not enforce this at all.
And you didn't even know about this app. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Neon Coat?
Size doesn't matter. Engagement does.
Yetis, effective influencer marketing isn't the size of the following, but the engagement.
Plenty of celebrities have millions of followers. Big followings.
But brands are realizing that the real value is micro-influencers who have engaged followings.
That 5,000 follower requirement, not that high a bar.
No, that's basically what we have right now, Jack. Personally on our handles, we can totally do this. But what restaurants on the other side really care about is, does the following like, share, and comment on the content?
Because an influencer with 10,000 engaged followers is more valuable than another influencer with 1 million not engaged followers.
So besties, engagement, not following size, is the true measurement of trust. That followers might actually buy the thing you're posting about.
It's not popularity that sells. It's trust that sells.
Hey Yetis, if you're a bestie, take a sec and hit that subscribe button.
And like this video while you're at it. If you leave a comment, by the way, we'll read it.
For our third and final story, last week, the crypto industry took a giant leap forward. 3 bills all passed Congress.
Crypto Week reminds us about a lesson from the Roman emperors. It's the first crypto regulation, not the last.
Yetis, Jack and I have been keeping track, and Bitcoin was actually invented 17 years, 6 months, 18 days, 4 hours, and 17 minutes ago.
But it took all this time for Congress to pass its first ever crypto law.
That's right. All at once, we had 3 crypto laws passed just last week, plus a surprise big executive order.
It was called Crypto Week.
And a happy Crypto Week to all those who celebrate.
But Nick, what is crypto? It's an asset now with a combined value of $4 trillion.
That is A, a lot of lifts, and B, bigger than the economy of the United Kingdom.
But crypto has also become an entire industry, with thousands of companies eager to know what are the rules of this industry.
And after massive political donations and industry lobbying and a lot of billboards all across Washington, D.C., crypto just got 3 big laws.
The first crypto law passed week is called the Genius Act.
GENIUS stands for Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act.
I think you just basically described it all. I don't need to say anything else.
Basically, it creates a framework for stablecoins, the digital equivalent of the U.S. dollar.
Instead of slow and old school payment systems full of fees, which is the status quo we all live in, with stablecoins, we could use the blockchain to move dollars fast and potentially free of fees.
Now, the second law is the Clarity Act, which is not a fun, cool acronym.
Well, this one does clarify what regulatory agency regulates crypto and how.
Crypto will now be also overseen by the CFTC, which is a smaller regulatory agency that's not as intense. It's lighter touch.
After a harsh Biden era of SEC regulation, crypto feels like they can flourish under this new clarified setup.
And now the final bill, the third bill, it doesn't have a cool nickname like Genius or Clarity like the other 2.
No acronym here. It simply bans our central bank from creating a stablecoin, a digital equivalent of the US dollar.
And why does the government want to ban this type of stablecoin, Jack?
Well, crypto people say it's to prevent government surveillance of us through the movement of our digital dollars.
But pause the pod, because we're also getting a surprise crypto bonus announcement as well.
An executive order from President Trump to let 401k retirement accounts invest in crypto.
So when you hit 70, you can pay for your senior citizens condo down in Del Boca Vista with all your gains from Ethereum.
Now, as of this recording on Friday afternoon, none of those had been signed by the president yet, but they are all expected to be.
And add it all up, and we just got the first set of crypto rules in its 17-year history.
But it won't be the last.
Because of our takeaway. So Jack, what's the takeaway for all our buddies looking at crypto?
Rome was not built in a day, and neither are regulations.
Yetis, many people assume that with 3 big bills, our government's crypto rules are boom, dunzo, set for life.
The reality is that regulation is never one and done.
Nope.
Regulation is like building a city. It takes many years, many eras.
It's like building Rome. Surprising example of this? Just look at our Federal Reserve Bank, which was established in 1914.
But it wasn't until 1933, 19 years later, that we got the 2 other crucial parts of our financial system.
Right, the SEC and the FDIC. Well, 2025's crypto moment, it's a lot like 1914's financial moment, the way we see it.
It's just step 1. It's not done.
So our prediction, a 2030 crypto bill will probably happen. One that fixes everything that these 3 bills didn't fix.
We'll see how these next X number of years go, and then Congress is going to come back and finish the job of regulating crypto.
Because as Caesar once said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are regulations. Jack, could you whip up the takeaways for us for the huge week?
For our first story, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert has been canceled, partly because of business, partly because of politics.
And partly because late night hosts are becoming podcast hosts.
For our second story, Neon Coat is an app for influencers to get free restaurant meals, free gym passes, and more.
For influencer marketing, it's not the size that counts, it's how you engage with it.
And our third and final story, Congress passed 3 crypto bills last week, and a big executive order came too.
Like Rome, regulation isn't built in a day. This is just the start.
But Yetis, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
First, Substack, the newsletter startup, has raised $100 million for its newsletter business, a valuation of $1.1 billion.
Very simple business model. You can make a newsletter and publish it on our platform, but if you make money, we get a 10% cut.
Beautifully simple business model. If your newsletter is free, then Substack is free for you to use.
If you charge $10 per subscriber, Substack takes $1 of that 10.
And Andreessen is into it. And second, Republicans in Congress were busy last week. They also clawed back $1.1 billion that had already been allocated to the CPB.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting. And why are they taking this money away? Perceived liberal bias of NPR and PBS.
Now, we should point out, NPR only gets 1% of its budget from the federal government, so who this really hurts is local news businesses. 1,500
radio and TV stations across the country just lost a major funding source.
And finally, where are you sitting, Jack? Because Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie is already selling IMAX tickets 1 year in advance.
Unlike with Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan doesn't have Barbie to rely on to drive hype. So he's driving his own hype with a 12-month pre-sale window.
And I'm besties, Jack and I are very excited for any Christopher Nolan movie. He is our Roman Empire, after all.
Although the Odyssey is the Greek Empire.
Good point, Homer. Good point.
Speaking of the Odyssey, you know who plays Odysseus?
Oh, yeah. Who? I don't know.
Matt Damon.
Is that a spoiler? Do people know that yet?
Oh!
You find that out in your influencer app?
Doesn't everyone read Deadline Hollywood like I do?
Now, time for the best fact yet, which, because it's Monday, means T-Boy Trivia.
Here's the trivia question. What is the most valuable franchise of all time?
It's a simple but hard question. What fictional universe has made more money than any other?
Is it Harry Potter, Star Wars, Pokemon, Marvel Universe, or Hello Kitty?
I like that we're doing multiple choice on this one. Brings me back to the SATs. Here we go. Okay, what do you think? Oh, a little bit. You want to drop a hint? You got a hint, Jack?
Here's my hint. It's not the Lord of the Rings.
Here's another hint. Hermione, you're not going to get this.
Whoa, that's a huge hint, dude.
Unless you think about that answer, Jack.
To repeat the options, it's Harry Potter, Star Wars, Pokemon, Marvel Universe, or Hello Kitty.
Yetis, you look fantastic to start the week. Jack, you are looking glowing with that fresh haircut for the big show in Chicago.
I'm ridiculously excited for this live show.
I can't wait to see you, Jack. We got to use your influencer app to get us a reservation at one of these places. Can you get us a burger at Au Cheval? You think you can pull that off?
I would love a free meal. Dude, I heard brunch is huge in Chicago. We should get brunch each day we're there.
They say no one does a bloody like the Loop. Jack and I will see you there. Snag your tickets and celebrate the wins. And before we go, a happy 41st birthday to Yeti Philip Hanks from Oak Ridge, North Kakalaki. Happy birthday, Philip.
Happy 50th birthday to David Chen in Walnut Creek, California.
And happy 88th birthday to Krispy Kreme Donuts, which Jack was selling 88-cent donuts, which is not good for your Krispy Kreme stock, I gotta point out.
Take it easy on the promotions, Krispy Kreme.
And Cassidy Torres has a new job in Marietta, Georgia. Congratulations, Cassidy.
Congratulations to Matt Walterink from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who just had a new baby girl, Hallie.
Welcome, Hallie. And Anthony Prudencio from Rio Rancho, New Mexico has sent us some fantastic YouTube recs. Hey, thank you, Anthony.
And a shout out to Rachel Hauer, who is making us do a triathlon, apparently, when we hit 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Did we sign anything? Have we signed anything for this?
I don't know, but if you want to see us wearing Slam and Salmon spandex, follow us at TBOY Pod.
We've been training our whole lives for it.
And to anyone else celebrating something today, make it a T-Boy.
Celebrate the wins.
This is Jack. I own stock in Krispy Kreme. Nick and I both own stock of Airbnb. We both own some Bitcoin, and Nick owns some Ethereum.